Hello everyone and welcome to another game of Squirrels Baseball. I am Aaron and hopefully we are more or less back to normal. So, boy, it's been a long process here the last few days. Get things kind of going here and then we'll talk about it. So, I don't remember what all I've written out or what anybody would have read. So it started off with, on the camera app, which I just used the regular Microsoft camera that comes with, with Windows. As soon as I would hit record, it would record for, well, it wouldn't really record anything, but it would stay frozen for a few seconds and then immediately just crash. So at first, after doing everything I could with the actual camera software and, resetting, doing the SFC scan and the DISM scan on Windows, all that sort of stuff, thought maybe it's something in that. None of that made a difference, so I thought it was the actual capture card. So then I bought a USB capture card, which is actually what I'm using right now, instead of an internal capture card. That didn't make a difference. Found out it was doing the same thing on my webcam. So it definitely wasn't the input doing it. Dug in through the event viewer, found the error code, which said it was trying to divide by 0 is what the error code meant. And supposedly you could fix it by repairing your Windows. Obviously, I already tried all that. So what I ended up doing was just completely reinstalling Windows, fresh install. I'm sure there's still lots of updates I am missing. But, as you can see, the camera is now working. And as long as you're hearing this, which apparently you were not in the first game, because I found out the sound cut out about 10 seconds into that video, the microphone is working and hopefully we are all back to normal now. So here we are, Game 3. Didn't do a whole lot at the plate to start things off. You can see the regular starting lineup in with Gil on the mound for us. One thing I did notice on the intros, Bill Hall is not playing third, although I suppose he had been playing shortstop and moving to third. So I guess we'll see if he's actually still in the lineup. I didn't notice when things were being shown setting up because I was more worried about what was going on with the computer. So Tony Gwynn Jr. is still around though, and he will start off this series with a strikeout. And here is Ronnie Cedeno. Also have a feeling you guys are not getting the crowd noise. Actually, I think I'll pump that up right now to see if you can get a little more of that. I feel like we were about here before on this setup. Oh, there's Bill Hall. He's still around. Alright, so 2 strikeouts, so 2 batters for Gil. Bill Hall usually has some good success against us, though, both in the field and at the plate. And, well, nope, that's not going to work out there. A little blooper towards short, and Joey will take care of that. So a whole lot of zeros on the board through 1. Here comes Terry to the plate. And we have their Zap on the mound. He's been around for a few years now with the Brewers. Terry with the base hit up the middle, playing some games over at first that I sure wish he wouldn't. But it is a leadoff single, and here is Frank, who has been had a very good showing in Pittsburgh anyway, already up to 4 RBIs in 2 games. This is a fly out to left, and Terry will have to retreat. So here's Tom. Sorry, my nose has also suddenly got runny. I think I've got some Kleenex here. If you'll pardon me for a moment. Alright, hopefully that sounds better. Here's Zach at the plate after Tom, I had my back turned, but I presume he struck out. Terry's still over there on first. Zach staying alive up there at the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Still no runs as we go to the bottom of the second inning. The Brewers will start things off with Nitro at the plate. Nitro's numbers were not bad last year, but he didn't do a whole lot against us. See, takes strike 1 on a slider to the outside. He fouls that straight back. Not particularly hard, but 0-2 count. Blows a fastball by him, and Gill gets the strikeout. Here's Bullard. I do not believe we saw him last year. He apparently is a draft pick. So I don't know if he's been hanging out in AAA or if he just got drafted last year. In any case, he has an 0-2 count to start things off. Looks like I don't know who Milwaukee played to open up the year, but it looks like he did pretty well in those 2 games. Goes down swinging, and here is Van Hecken, who had been batting 8th the last couple of years. Now he's up to the 6th spot. He typically has a terrible average, but hits home runs. He's got the pretty bad average to start this year, but nothing over the fence yet. And I don't believe he got a hit against us till the last couple games of the season. He will also strike out, and that'll end the second inning. So we move on to the third. Still no runs, only 1 hit in the game. Joey's going to start it off for the Squirrels. Joey has not gotten a hit yet this year, and he will look at strike 1. This is and there is that first hit, and it's going to roll a little ways. I think he's going to start off the year with a double, and there it is. He is in there safely. So here's Gill with his first at-bat of the season. I wonder if he might bunt Joey over to third. Now here's the bunt. Pulls it back and slashes, but comes up empty, so now it's an 0-2 count. So he fouls that pitch away. I think I would have rather now he puts the bunt back out there with 2 strikes. And is it going to stay fair? It does, and it's actually going to come down as a hit. So a very good bunt for Gill, and now we've got runners on the corners with nobody out. Kester at the plate. I think he's only got 1 hit this year. Can't be much more than that, of hitting 100 on the season so far. He's got a 2-1 count to start this at-bat. He's behind on that fastball, makes it 2-2. This one too high. We got a full count. Nobody out. Runners on the corners. And a called strike 3 over the outside corner. Here is Marvin. This is the first time this year he's batted left-handed. In this game. Obviously, he already had a at-bat in this game. But both games in Pittsburgh, it was all left-handed. Has a 2-2 count. 1 down. Runner still on the corners. Ground ball. Throw will go home, and it will be in time. Joey cut down at the plate by Bill Hall playing shortstop. See just how close this was. It was the right call, but it was close at home. So that will leave runners at first and second with 2 outs now for Chief, who batting .333, nothing to sneeze at, but it is actually low for him. Has a 2-0 count at the moment. Swings and misses at a knuckleball. Zap throws a knuckleball, but I would not call him a knuckleballer. Doesn't depend on it, though he gets another swing and a miss on it there. Runners off with the full count, and we will try it again after that pitch is fouled away. This is going to get up the middle. That should score a run. Here comes Gill, and he is in there safely. Believe that was Marvin over on first. He is now on third. Chief takes off for second. They do throw to second, and Van Hecken nails Chief by a good margin. I didn't remember having that strong of an arm, but he definitely got Chief there comfortably. Squirrels do take the 1-0 lead, though, as we go to the bottom of the third. Scott at the plate. He's generally come off the bench for the Brewers, but he's starting in left this year. Hasn't gotten a hit yet this year. Just realized I don't believe we saw Ryan Braun. I don't know if he got traded or if he's on the bench. Or he could have retired. I'm not sure. In any case, Scott has worked the count full. And he will get a base hit into right center. Marvin did a pretty good job cutting that ball off, and that will keep things at a single. I do believe that is the first base runner for the Brewers. Brings Gabe Kapler to the plate. He will ground foul down the third base line. That slider misses inside, makes it 1-1. Curveball gets a swing and a miss. Another ground ball. This could be 2. Kester on to first, and it is. Mark that one down, 6-4-3. So that'll bring Zapp up to the plate for his first at-bat of the year. Nobody on base and 2 outs, and he will take strike 1. Grounds this one foul down the first base line. Makes it 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the third inning. The Squirrels still ahead 1-0. Terry will lead things off for the Squirrels in the 4th. Terry with the base hit his first time up, though I don't think he advanced any further. Swings and misses at the first pitch, swings and misses at the second pitch. Hits this one, will it fall in? It will not. Cedeno makes the catch. Frank lined out, I think into left if I remember right, his first time up. Hits this one to Cedeno on the ground, 2 away. Tom struck out swinging. He and Zach had back-to-back strikeouts the first time through the lineup. The only 2 strikeouts for Zapp the first trip through. Well, not a good throw from Hall, but at least it brings Nitro into where he can make the tag for out number 3. So still 1-0 Squirrels as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Tony Gwynn Jr. back up to the plate. The Brewers did manage a hit, but then immediately hit into a double play, so they have still gone down in order. McGill has faced the minimum. Gwynn with a base hit into right field. We'll see if the Squirrels can erase this one as well. Here's Ronnie Cedeno, struck out in his first at-bat, and he is showing bunt, pulls it back, and the pitch is too high. Puts the bunt back out there, gets this one down, back to, actually Tom's going to field it in front of home plate, gets the throw to first. So it's a successful sacrifice, brings Bill Hall to the plate with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. He looks at strike 1. That fastball misses inside. Gill tries another one, this one called a strike. 1-2. Slider down and away, evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's a big strikeout for Gill, though he still has to get around Nitro to get out of this inning. Nitro definitely has the ability to give the Brewers the lead here. Starts off with a 1-1 count. Hits this one in the air, but not very far. Chief waiting for it. And he grabs the pop-up to end the inning. Squirrels hanging on to the 1-0 lead as we go into the 5th, where Zach will lead things off. First pitch to Zach is called a strike. And this one's a bit low, makes it 1-1. Ground ball to Cedeno, he gets the ball to first, 1 away. Here's Joey, who had a double, and he would eventually get cut down at the plate first time up. Looks at strike 1. Hits this one right to Cedeno on a little bloop liner. 2 down, here's Gill, who's batting 1,000. He had a base hit bunt his first time up. And he would come around to score the only run of the game so far. Zapp for the Brewers starting to tire out there on the mound. So he's got Zapp with a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss. That will end the top of the 5th. We've hit the halfway point. Squirrels still up 1-0. The Brewers will start things off with Bullard at the plate. Bullard struck out his first time up. Gill up to 7 strikeouts on the day. Starts him off with the fastball for a strike. Another fastball for a strike. Bullard has not offered at either one. Hits this one. Joey should have it, though he has to go into shallow left to do so. But it is the first out of the inning. Here is Van Hecken. He also struck out his first time up. Looks at strike one. Swing and a miss will make it 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away. Here's Scott. Got his first hit of the season last time up. And he will look at a strike. Fastball a bit down and away, but in the zone. Don't want to suggest it was a bad call. I feel like those do happen sometimes in this game. That pitch too low. That makes it 1-2. Hits this one right to Terry, and that will end the inning. We go into the 6th. Still 1-0. Kester due up for the Squirrels. Kester 0 for 2 on the day. Zapp still out there on the mound for now. Starts Kester off with a strike. Kester tries to bunt but whiffs. 0-2. Hits this one to Cedeno, who makes the grab near second base. 1 away. Here's Marvin. He has put the ball on the ground twice today. Looks at strike 1. Hits this one. That will get down into right field for his first hit today. 1 on with 1 out, and here is Chief, who is 1 for 2. He's got that average back up to an even 400. So not a lot on that fastball, but Chief missed it. Misses this one as well. That was a better thrown one, but Zapp seems to be at the end of his rope here. Chief is going to pop this one back up to Zapp. 2 away, and Terry is in the box. Zapp's going to get a chance to finish out this inning. Marvin takes off, and he is in there safely at second. Terry swung and missed at the pitch. Swings and misses at this one as well. Makes it 0-2. Oh, this one hit sharply up the middle. And Marvin is they are gonna throw home, but well late. Marvin makes it 2-0, and that will be it for Zapp. Carlos Villanueva is going to take over on the mound and try to keep things where they are at. Say through 2.5 games rather. The Squirrels have yet to give up a run, so I'm sure the Brewers really don't want to get any further behind here. Terry on first, Frank at the plate. It's a 1-1 count. That fastball a bit too high. Swing and a miss on the changeup makes it 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the top of the 6th inning. The Squirrels tack on another run to make it 2-0. The Brewers will start off with Gabe Kapler in the batter's box. Kapler ground into a double play in his first at-bat. He has not gotten a hit so far this year, though it's only game 3, so not a disaster yet. He's got a 1-2 count in this at-bat. Called strike 3, 1 away. Looks like Villanueva's got to get a chance to hit, and it is not his first time this season. He'll look at strike 1. He hasn't gotten a hit, but he's gotten an at-bat at least. Grounds this one to third. Chief takes care of that, no problem. So here's Tony Gwynn Jr. Got a base hit in his last at-bat. Sinker is too low. Curveball too low. Bounced both those pitches in. Fastball grooved right in there, and Gwynn just let it go. Hits this one, but it's going to be a harmless ground ball to second. That will get us to the 7th inning. Tom's going to lead off for the Squirrels, who still lead 2-0. Tom 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. Hits this one right over third base. Bullard gets the throw there in plenty of time. One away. Here is Zach, who is also struck out and ground out. Looks at strike one. Swings and misses to make it 0-2. And fouls this one away. Swing and a miss, strike three. Here is Joey, 1 for 2 on the day, a double and a lazy line out. Not that Joey was being lazy, it just wasn't a very hard hit ball. He's got a 1-1 count in this at bat. That fastball sails high. Swing and a miss, that'll make it 2-2. This will get down into right field, and that will be a base hit, and that will bring up a pinch hitter. I've got to pause just a moment here. Okay, let's go get... So far, Sweeney's been the only pinch hitter we've had this year, so let's let Phil have a shot at it. Phil has gotten into the field, but this will be his first plate appearance. Villanueva starts him off with a changeup for strike one. Grounds this one straight back, foul, 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. That will bring us to the 7th inning stretch. Squirrels lead 2-0. The Brewers will start off with Cedeno on the other side of the break. Right. We want... Gil's left-handed, so Gonzalez will come into Joey's spot. Let's flip around those two. This is Gonzalez's first appearance of the year. The other two relievers that got in, Jones and Nakai, both got to pitch 2 innings. Well, as of right now, that will not be the case for Gonzalez. Cedeno, 0 for 1. He had a sac bunt in his last at-bat. This routine ground ball to third. One down. Here comes Hall. Yeah, Bill Hall, who is 0 for 2 today. First pitch is called a strike. Swing and a miss, makes it 0-2. Ground ball to short this time. Kester over to first. 2 down. And here is Nitro, also 0 for 2. He's struck out and popped up. He should be a weapon for the Brewers, and I think against other teams maybe he is, but he has just not had a lot of success against us. I do think he hit 1 home run against us last year. I think that's about all the positive impact he had as he strikes out in this at-bat to bring us into the 8th inning. Still a 2-0 Squirrels lead, and they are back at the top of the order with Kester. Kester 0 for 3. Looks at a ball. Swing and a miss makes it 1-1. This is into right field, and it will get down for a base hit. He sorely needed that. Here is Marvin back around to the left side. He's got his average up to 400 after a hit in his last at-bat. Has a 1-1 count to start this at-bat, as that fastball is too low. Hits this one to Cedeno, on to Hall, back to first, not in time there. So he's able to leg out and make that into a fielder's choice. Brings Chief to the plate. He will look at a strike. Swings and misses to make it 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down, runner on first for Terry, who is 2 for 3 today. Got a couple singles. Strikeout in the middle of those, if I remember right. Has a 1-1 count. Ooh, he's behind on that fastball. Curveball broke too low. His Villanueva starting to tire. Gets this one in the air, and I don't think it's coming back. A 462-foot shot into right field, his second home run of the season. That is a 2-run shot to make it 4-0, and Gonzalez will indeed stay out there. Villanueva, however, will not. Octavio Dotel will take over. All right, here's Frank. He's 0 for 3 today. Apparently this is Dotel's first appearance. And it starts off with a base hit through the left side of the infield for Frank. 2 down, runner on first. Tom, 0 for 3, a strikeout and a couple groundouts. Looks at strike 1. Swings and misses to make it 0-2. And that's a ground foul. Line drive right to Nitro at first, who makes the grab. So add 2 more, it's now a 4-0 ball game. Bullard's going to lead things off for the Brewers in the bottom half of the inning. As mentioned, Gonzalez will get a second inning after all. We have still not seen either Hermida or Shibuya this year. Bullard has an 0-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 down, here's Van Hecken. He has struck out in both of his at-bats so far. Ground ball, Gonzalez will wait for the hop. Over to first, 2 away. Smooth sailing so far. Here's Scott. He is 1 for 2 today. Looks at strike 1. Swing and a miss, makes it 0-2. Hits this one sharply down the line. That's going to roll into the corner. He is on his way to second. Here's the throw. It's going to be close, and he is going to be thrown out. Boy, I was even worried about a triple, and instead he gets cut down at second base with an excellent throw from Zach, who is going to lead off this 9th inning. He is also 0 for 3. I do believe 2 strikeouts and a ground out in between. But he plays a good right field, so he gets some leeway there at the plate. He's typically a pretty solid hitter, though he did struggle last year. Has a 3-1 count in this at-bat. Looks at the strike 2. We got a full count now. Misses outside, and Zach will draw a walk. Here is the pitcher's spot, so we will throw Quinton out there. Let's get him an at-bat, his first at-bat of the year. One of the 2 switch hitters on our team, he and Marvin. So he will bat left-handed as he looks at strike 1. That down in the dirt by his feet. A little surprised he didn't spin out of the way. Ground ball, this should be harmless. Nearly a double play. Actually, I wasn't real sure if Quinton would leg that out or not, but he did. Here's Phil, his second chance at it. They check over on first. Dotel to the plate this time. Gets the call on a low pitch, 1-1. That one too high, does not get that call, 2-1. There's a called strike, 2-2. Phil with a base hit into left. That will put 2 runners on with only 1 out. Kester just got a base hit in his last at-bat, if I do remember. That slider breaks too far outside. This one, Dotel gets the call. Outside again. Will Dotel go back in? He sure does. It gets a ground ball to short. Hall goes to second with it, and that is the only out the Brewers get. So runners are on the corners for Marvin. There are 2 outs. First pitch down and in. Say check over on first again. Marvin looks at strike 1. The pitch up and away. Ground ball foul down the first base line. Was not foul by much, but Marvin gets another go at it. Line drive right to Bullard at third. So a 4-0 lead as we go into the bottom of the 9th. Gabe Kapler will lead things off. And we will go get Zapp, who's gotten to finish off every game so far this year. Put him into Marvin's spot. Let's let Zach play center field. He is faster than, and probably just generally a better outfielder than Quentin, who is basically in there for his bat. All right, Kapler 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play and struck out. Looks at strike 1. Swing and a miss, makes it 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Brewers will turn to their bench, and they will find Muto, who has been kind of first off the bench for the Brewers the past couple years. Actually, I think by the end of last season he was in the starting lineup, but back to the bench right now anyway. Starts off with a 1-1 count. Muto has had some success against us, I will add. Looks at strike 2 here, though. Looks at strike 3. Brewers down to their final out in the form of Tony Gwynn Jr. He is 1 for 3 today. That breaking ball runs outside. Then a swing and a miss. Hit. Will this get foul? It will not. That's going to stay down the line again. Quentin not likely to throw him out the way Zach did, and sure enough, it is a 2-out double. So this might be the best game Tony Gwynn Jr. has ever had against us. Here is Ronnie Cedeno. Did have a sac bunt earlier in the game, but that's not going to help much here. First pitch goes a bit high. Zapp gets the call on pitch number 2. Not on that one. It's a 2-1 count. This is fouled away. That'll make it 2-2. Brewers down to their last strike. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is your ball game. Today's final score, Indianapolis Squirrels 4, Milwaukee Brewers 0. All right, let's take a look at some highlights. If you're asking me, the plate should have been a highlight too, but all right, Chief is your player of the game. Thank you everybody for watching. If you'd like to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, feel very free. Otherwise, we'll be back with Game 2 against the Brewers tomorrow. We will see you then.